Hi, I'm Fiona and I'm the Digital Fabrication Technician and Facilitator at KWMC the Factory. My role here involves working on our 4 strands of activity. Training and skills programme, working with local people to train them in digital skills and using kits such as the laser cutter. Innovation, where we work with universities and other organisations on research projects. We've got an enterprise strand, so we support local creative entrepreneurs in their businesses. We've also got a trading arm, so that's commercial work for a range of clients, from furniture to small jewellery items.
Let's talk about, what happened 15 months ago when we met to talk about the design problems. I mean, how do we create a badge that communicates numbers in a way that's helpful for people that might be ill?
Starting with the actual badge that you brought to me. It has this nice sort of turning function. It seems to work really nicely, but your main kind of issue was that it sort of moves independently when you're wearing it without you actually turning it. So you wanted to try and tackle that issue and find a way to keep it.
That was problem number 1.
So, well, to begin with, I just sort of tried to recreate essentially the same sort of badge. So through laser cutting acrylic, but we had to kind of rely on a bolt going through the middle, which isn't perhaps the most aesthetically pleasing, but for proof of concept to begin with. So tried some other options. Just starting to think about some way of clipping it at the bottom so that when you kind of unclip, turn it, and then re-clip it into place, and that should keep it in one spot when you're actually trying to make something that definitely works, was this kind of flowery version. So these petals have little holes that line up with the one hole that's on the blue piece.
Yeah.
So again, you turn it round and then you'd clip something through those 2 holes to hold the 2 pieces of acrylic together, and then that should stay in one place.
Right, so that's fixing the problem of this rotation problem when the body's moving around. So that's a solution or a possible solution. But there are other problems.
So I tried another couple of different colours. This is a yellow, thinking that at least if it was behind the clear, perhaps it might help, or tried actually engraving onto the yellow itself, but that didn't really show up very well either. It doesn't really stand out, there's not much contrast to it.
No, it hasn't really helped or moved us on that much. So let's just take that out of the way and have a look at, let's just start again and think about how else we can interact with this badge.
We've come up with this sort of 2-piece idea. So you pull this section out, and rather than a circle, it's a polygon with sort of straight edges. These straight edges sit in this little pocket, and then this V reveals the number that's at the top. Yeah, it's a bit more of a kind of physical action to take it out and put it back in.
Yeah, it's aesthetically pleasing actually. There's something nice about it, but practically, does it do the job?
This stuff is much thinner and a bit more bendy, and it works in much the same way. It's got the straight edges which sit in this little pocket.
And what's interesting about both of these ideas is that it's involving much more of the interaction of the person wearing it, which actually is really essential in the process of deciding and communicating well-being. We haven't failed in this design process, have we? What we've been doing is learning, and that is what our design challenge is all about.
We believe designing is an exciting social challenge that involves learning to change our thinking. Huge thanks to Fiona and the team at KWMC the Factory for supporting the the-wib Community Interest Company in its mission to enable everyone to co-create well-being.